How's it going, guys? Necromancer Noob. We are a little bit into Season 2 of Marvel Rivals. I've been enjoying it pretty well. I hope you guys are as well. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. But I wanted to talk about a combo that has been doing pretty well for me and my teammates. And I think you guys should give it a try. Now, if you guys have watched some of my previous videos, you may know where I'm heading towards this with this video, but I'm going to be talking about the Fantastic Four combo with the Thing, Invisible Woman, Mr. Fantastic. And that being said, I didn't mention the Human Torch. Now, I'm not saying he is bad in any right. I just think when Season 1.5 started and he came out, not too many people knew how to play him, and he was kind of just bad in his own right, so people just didn't play him anyways. But now, we're at a point where he is good, and I just don't think enough people have played him to actually get well enough with him. But when the Thing came out in Season 1.5, he arguably took the spotlight. Mr. Fantastic was pretty bad in his own right as well, but he got some solid buffs this season, and he is a menace. Now, don't get me wrong, if there was a good Mr. Fantastic, they could still dish out some crazy damage and do some crazy stuff, and now it's just even better. Along with Invisible Woman being very good, one of the best healers in the game right now, it's just a really good combo, and I'll just kind of go over the things I like, the things that you should be doing with it, and just anything along those lines. And there's also some other really good combos, really good hero synergies out there, but this is just the one that me and my teammates have been using quite a bit. We've been climbing the ranks pretty well for the most part, and I'd say it's been working pretty well. Of course, styles make fights. You may hear that a lot if you watch like UFC or a lot of fighting stuff, or maybe just you're into other video games with good compositions and combos. You may hear that a lot when it comes to this, but it's not wrong. Styles do make fights, especially in a game like this where I can argue just about any character is good in its own right and can be used in the right hands. This may not be the end all be all, this may not be the go-to all the time, but I'm just saying, give it a try, get some practice in with it, and you might have some success like me and my friends have. Now, I went from maining Venom, lording Venom, to going to Thor, lording Thor, and then now the Thing, and I just feel like the great thing about the Thing is he is the best of both worlds, and that kind of goes the same way with Mr. Fantastic as well. Now, the Thing works really well as an anti-dive, and Mr. Fantastic is also a very good anti-dive as well. But the other thing that's really good about them is they are brawlers. They are outright get up in their face, get up and personal, and dish out a lot of damage up close. And you just push forward with this like unrelenting aggressiveness and really good survivability. You can stay in the fight forever. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. And along with Sue Storm, you also just have a really good strategist that can do a lot of things really well. In the right hands, I just feel like this combo is just really good. You really can carry your other teammates to a victory if you three are just solid enough with these characters. Now, let's talk about the anti-dive capabilities of the Thing and Mr. Fantastic and even Invisible Woman. Now, the Thing, of course, if you have a character or hero that is getting harassed in your back lines by a dive character, you dive on that character that is getting attacked, you give them a damage reduction, you give yourself a damage reduction. It is 25% for both of you for a short amount of time, but that does a crazy amount of damage reduction, and that could keep them in the fight a lot longer. It could save them from getting picked off. And not to mention, the Thing has probably the best anti-dive ability out there right now, which is that Nancy Street Charge. You get that down, you slam the ground, and they won't be able to do any mobility moves. And a mobility means if you have a Black Panther, a Spider-Man, Magic, they can't do some crazy stuff right after, like they can't jump away, they can't do one of his crazy zips, they can't do one of the crazy dives of Black Panther. They gotta stay there, and they're basically just a walking, sitting duck. You can just take them out really easy. Hopefully that is a quick pick for you and your teammates. But if you have teammates that are getting dove on, make sure you save that Nancy Street Charge for a dive character, and make sure that they don't get out alive or easy, or just make sure that they're like reevaluating their decisions of being a dive character in the first place. And now, with the addition of Mr. Fantastic, you two are like the dynamic duo of anti-dives. Mr. Fantastic is incredibly hard to kill, probably harder than tanks to kill at sometimes. And he is just like that aggressive sponge where the more damage he takes, the more damage he can generally start dishing out, and you can really get that easy pick on someone. He can do things similar to the thing as well. He has that little like back shot, whatever you want to call it, but you can do that to teammates and enemies. If you do it to a teammate, you give them armor, which is really good. If you do it to an enemy, you can just basically make sure you stay on top of them and they don't get away. And when it comes to Sue Storm, she has a really good toolkit for anti-dives as well. She of course has the invisibility. If you just don't attack or shoot stuff out, you can just get away without anyone noticing. She also has a shove or a pull, so either or. If you want to get someone out of your face and then maybe your teammates are there, they're trying to get away, you pull them back in and you get that good finish on an enemy. Not to mention she has that tiny portable shield that you can throw on a teammate as well. That can really save someone's life if they're getting harassed too much. But of course, communication is key, especially something like this if you're trying to work together and get that good synergy. She does have the team up, so along with that, she's going to have extra healing capabilities. You're also going to have an ability if you're Thing or Mr. Fantastic, which is more health per second. I forget the exact amount, but that can save you in fights. That can help you stall a point. Even if the healer gets picked off and you're like trying to hold a point down or just something along those lines, you can stay in a fight without a healer for quite a while. You two just kind of give each other damage reduction and armor. You guys just kind of bounce off of each other, keep taking out the same targets together, and you guys are very hard to kill. Even like I said, without a healer, if you have that team up ability, you both gain health over time. And like I said, it's just incredibly hard. You guys are a nuisance. And I can't stress this enough. If you are a strategist, if you are Sue Storm or someone else in the backlines getting harassed by a dive character, do not back up. That makes it a lot harder for your characters to dive on you and help you out in that situation. You make it a lot harder. You get out of the fight, and that's exactly what they want. You're basically playing into their game. Try your best to not back up if you are getting harassed in the dive. Like I said, you only have a certain amount of distance for like Mr. Fantastic or Thing to dive on you. So when you do that, you make it so much harder for them. But like I said, this is really a recipe for a really good anti-dive. At the same time though, you can also do the vice versa. You can be a dive on them and you can make their life living hell in their backlines and basically be incredibly hard to kill, incredibly hard to get out of the fight. If you have another dive on your team, it's going to be very hard for them to get you out of the picture, to get you out of their harm's way. So the same thing, if Mr. Fantastic or the Thing gets up into their back line, starts harassing them a little bit, they can dive onto one another, keep each other in the fight a lot longer. You guys just concentrate on who you're trying to attack and take out of the fight. Usually their supports, work your way up to like the tanks and DPS, stuff like that. If you guys have that invisible woman team up, you guys get health over time. She can throw shields on you if it gets a little too risky. And the nice thing about Sue Storm is her healing can just pierce through enemies and teammates all alone. So if you guys are lined up in a nice little group, she can dish out damage along with healing you guys. And it is just a really good combo all in all. Now this may seem like a very weird tactic, but sometimes it can be incredibly hard for you guys to deal with a dive, and sometimes the best countermeasure for that is to dive on their team even harder than what they're doing to you, if that makes sense, right? So for example, maybe they have one or two dive characters that are making your life really challenging in the back lines, but maybe they're not getting all the picks that they should be getting. What you can do is just dive on their team and basically make what they're doing a waste of time, and they're essentially out of the fight with less characters, and it just makes it a lot better of a position for you and your teammates. Sooner or later, they're going to have to stop diving on your back lines and then worry about you guys if you're doing a better job at what they're trying to do. But I can't stress enough, I think this combo is really good. It's been doing really well for me and my teammates. We've been doing pretty well with the ranked season so far. Granted, we are still only in like high plat, hopefully diamond within the next few days, but it's been pretty fun overall. I think you guys should give this combo a try. Let me know what other combos you think are really good right now. I want to say there's other ones like Emma Frost, but I think it's a little too early for people to be very good with Emma Frost. I know it's going to happen sooner or later, but as of right now, I just don't think people have had enough play time with her. That even goes for someone like Hulk. Hulk got a bunch of really good buffs, but I just don't think there are a bunch of really good Hulks out there at the moment. But the Thing is kind of like a bread and butter. He's very easy to pick up and play. Mr. Fantastic, once you kind of learn those abilities and what he does, he's very easy to play and very hard to get out of the fight. And Sue Storm is just a really solid healer all in all. So these are really good characters to pick up and play and learn, and I think they might help your rank grind or just quick play, whatever you guys want to do together. But it's a really good combo all in all. Let me know what you guys think down below, and thanks for watching the video. Thanks for checking it out, and I'll see you guys in future videos. Bye.